Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another edition of Stout Sunday. All right, and joining me this Friday morning, we have Mr. Ron Ontario, Louisiana Beer Reviews, Louisiana Porter Reviews this morning. Good morning, Ron. How you doing?
Hello, John and Illy and Michael and telephone. I'm doing fine.
All right, good deal. And we've got Mr. Telephone, Jean-Pierre, a.k.a. The Beverage Ramble. Good morning, John.
Good day, everyone. Yes, the addiction cannot... Still fighting it.
All right, and we've got Mr. Michael Komaroff, the Stout King, down in Brooklyn, New York. Michael, is it snowing down there like it is up here? Or?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was gonna do Stout Sunday from my apartment this morning, but I woke up and I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like getting out and driving in this mess right now. So I'm back at Kate's again for the second Stout Sunday in a row.
We're not supposed to get a lot though. This is supposed to be a smaller storm than the last one. So
hope everybody made their beer run for the game today.
Oh yeah, we're ready for the Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday, everybody.
Right. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get right into it here. Let's start with Mr. Ron Ontario and find out what he is drinking this morning.
Well, this is Yuengling Hershey's Chocolate Porter. I've done this before. I did it first in 2020. It was kind of not great, marginally good, but when they brought it back in 2021, it was better, I thought. So it's from America's oldest brewery, but they don't have America's oldest beer brand. America's oldest beer brand is Ballantine Ale from 1840.
The pride of Newark, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey.
That's right. Well, at least they started there. A porter with natural flavors. Michael's got a little echo going, just let you know. They use Hershey's cocoa powder, Hershey's chocolate syrup, and Hershey's cocoa nibs. So they use the little droplets, the powder, and the syrup. And then just Yuengling Porter, 4.7. Pop the cap there. Nice little pop. Somebody was saying Dick Yuengling, rest in peace. He died? I didn't realize he had died.
I haven't heard that. I think he's still around.
I just think he let me push this back. It's too far.
Maybe not in good health, but I'm thinking he's still around. So if they did, would they made the announcement by now? But the daughters are running the show now, so and they think that they've done a pretty good job, you know.
And then people get conniption fits like, how dare Larry Bell sell his company? I guess he should run it till he's 100 or something, you know. People are not allowed to retire. Oh, this thing is loaded with sediment. It's incredible. It's got a thick beige head and a very dark brown appearance. And if you blow this up, maybe you'll be able to see the sediment.
All right, let's see. Oh, wow. That is not how I remember it. Yeah, I don't remember all that sediment when I had it. Good Lord.
Major chunk action going on here.
Yeah.
Let's see if it smells tainted or something. No, smell like a chocolate porter, so I don't know what the story is, folks.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. Maybe just the I know you like to do the swish and pour. Maybe there was just a little extra yeast at the bottom that you broke loose.
A lot extra.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to Jean and see what he is drinking this morning.
All righty. I am drinking the Kentucky Coffee Barrel Stout, 8% from the Lexington Brewing Company in Lexington, Kentucky. This is a stout. I've had their barrel ale, bourbon barrel ale previously, and that was all right. This is my first time having this. This is a stout brewed with Haitian coffee, aged in oak bourbon barrels over whole coffee beans. So this is what the beer looks like. As you can see, I poured it in. I've had a little sip of it. So
No big chunks. No big chunks in that one, John. Huh?
No, not much. So
No. Okay. Good deal. All right. Looking forward to your thoughts on that one because we were talking off air before the show, and that one's kind of hit or miss with people. I liked it personally, but I know a lot of people that don't like it. So be interested to hear your thoughts on that.
all right.
Let's go to Michael and see what he's drinking this morning. Michael, you have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
There you go.
This is the Elysian Dark O' the Moon, and it's a 7.5% pumpkin stout. And I have already poured it. And this is what it looks like in the glass. Very dark brown, very thin head. It's kind of on the tannish side. I don't know in this light if you can see that, but it's got like a tan little minor head. And it's, I don't know, very dark brown to look at. Let me just get a nose on it.
And it does have the pumpkin spices in there, right?
You're getting mostly the spices and a little bit of dark roasted malt, but I'll give you a further description when we come around again.
All right. Good deal. And that leaves me. I'm very excited about this beer. This one was actually gifted to me from Bumpy Road Brewery the last time I flew up here before I actually moved. And it's been sitting in Kate's base or garage for probably 5-6 months. Anyway, this is from Stoneface Brewing Company. They're out of Newington, New Hampshire. This is the Double Barrel Imperial Stout, and it is aged in rye and apple brandy barrels. Clocks in at 10% alcohol. Good way to start your Sunday, your Super Bowl Sunday right here, folks. I also had another one. It was from Trillium. It was 15.9%. I figured I'd go with the lesser ABV one. That 15.9 might have been a little bit too much this morning. So there's the pour. It is pretty much jet black, and it's got a very dark tan, almost beige head, and I can smell the apple brandy like right up front. There's an apple note on the aroma. It smells really good, but I'll get further into that soon. But a good looking beer in the glass. It is black, so I can't see through it, but it doesn't look like there's any chunks or anything like that in it. Really quick, I'm going to go to the chat. Jason says, good morning, Massachusetts Beer Reviews and Pounds. That's true. I am in Massachusetts now, but for now, we're sticking with the Georgia Beer Reviews name because there's already a Massachusetts Beer Reviews. Eric Fraunfelter, aka Thomas Metal 75. He's talking about Elysian being a Seattle company. Yes, but they were bought out by InBev. And Friar Tuck is in the chat as well. Good morning to you, Friar Tuck. He's had all the beers on the panel except mine. Okay, good deal. And he says, cheers. Cheers to you, Friar Tuck. Happy Stout Sunday and Super Bowl Sunday. Let's go back around and get right into these things. We're all dying to try these wonderful beers, or well, just continue drinking these beers as Mr. Terrio is doing there. Let's go ahead and pull Ron up and let him tell us all about his Yingling.
Oh, anyway.
Put the phone down, Ron. Come on.
Looking at something more important than this. All right. Anyway, well, I checked the date on the bottom of the bottle, and it looks like it was made on August 6th. So had time for stuff to settle.
Yeah.
Not too old though, but you get a light chocolate nose and a little beer nose. Like porter, you know. The flavor, chocolate, mostly like the chocolate cocoa powder. And some mild porter. It's very dry, like powdery dry. This beer is making me thirsty. On the sweetness scale, it would be like 1.5 sugar cubes. On the bitterness scale, 1.5 hop cones. So it's not really sweet and it's not really bitter. I think the flavor is sort of separated because over time of sitting there on the shelf, you can see that
Oh yeah. Looks like minced garlic.
Yeah. It just kind of, I wish there was a way I could stir it up. I think that's the chocolate chunks. I think over time, like they were blended in, but they slowly solidified again.
Yeah. Sometimes too, when you have like Nesquik or like the powdered chocolate drinks, and you mix them in with milk, or some people water, but milk would be much better. Anyway, if you let it sit for a while, it does settle, and some of that powder kind of clumps back together and has that same look. So
it really just has like a thin beer flavor. And I bet you all the chocolate flavor is going to be in the last couple of sips. But I mean, if I had taken it and really just shook the bottle like that, and then slowly bled the pressure off, I think it would have been proper. So the rule with this product, folks, rule number 1, when you shop for beer, don't expect stores to keep it fresh because they ain't going to do it. Secondly, this beer is going to be much better fresh unless you do that
Shake.
I don't call it a shake pour, agitation and pour. So, it doesn't taste bad or rancid or, foul or anything. It's just, it tastes separated.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep working on it.
All right. Good deal. We'll come back around to you shortly. We got to go to Mr. Jean-Pierre and his Kentucky Coffee Barrel Stout.
Yeah.
Yes. So 8% the stout is. And so far since sipping it, I'm not getting the flavor of the bourbon flavor in it. It kind of tastes more like a sort of, and I'm not getting the full 8% of this as well. So it's tasting more like your sessionable, regular stout that I'm getting, like Guinness or Murphy's. The coffee flavor is definitely there. It's a slight hit of sweetness, a little bit of chocolate, but it's mostly more coffee than anything. I was expecting this to be a little more heavier, a little more fuller, and a little more malty as well. But I'm not getting that at all with this stout. So again, this is my first time trying this. So
kind of a thin body.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just thinking that you're drinking. If you're, as we mentioned, introducing folks to stouts, Guinness, and it kind of tastes like a Guinness, to me. It's pretty, kind of bland, but it tastes more like a 6% than an 8%. So now, I said I got this yesterday at Cost Plus World Market. Great store, a lot of good stuff there, great wines, and a lot of selection of different beers they have there. So if it was a little more fuller, then I would probably give it a higher score. But I think Beer Advocate gives it. I think when I saw it, looking at it right now, I think they gave it like an 86. They say it's good. 83. They say it's good. So, like I said, let me figure this out more what the score is. It's just kind of average to me.
Okay. Jason, speaking of expired beer, old beer, Ron was talking about the Yingling being not super fresh. He says he once shipped Jay expired Rainier beer. It was his fault for not checking, but literally got it from Walgreens and shipped it the same day. You can't expect any of these stores to keep the beer or to check the dates and to keep them fresh on the shelf. But sometimes that can be a good thing when you go to these craft beer stores and you can you buy a 2015 barrel aged stout or something like that. It works out sometimes, but you definitely don't want
in the case of in Jason's case, it was a bad thing, and it didn't work out too well because it was so it was old and lighter lager beer. But one time I went to Dorgnac's and they had a bunch of old beer on the shelves. But you know what the old beer was?
What's that?
2009, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh no.
Fuller's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Fuller's vintage ale.
Oh. Okay, well that's not so bad.
That's made to be aged, so it's like,
okay.
Right.
Now here comes Michael.
All right, Michael, there you go. Let's
Now,
hear
most, as we've discussed before, most macros and your lighter things do not do well with aging, and they'll completely separate, and you're in big trouble. I mean, it's not going to be worth drinking. It's going to be a drain pour probably, because something like Rainier, which is a light lager, that's not going to do well if it's a couple of years old or more. Then it's even worse. But
Yeah.
I've had that beer before, and it used to be, I think, it's probably is Rainier still being made, Jay? I don't even know.
Yes. Yes, but Widmer Brothers was bought out Pabst Brewing Company. I mean, what do you expect?
Okay. I used to drink it. I used to be able to get it, but I haven't seen it in a long time. Anyway, so this is, I showed you the glass before, very dark brown look, and the head is not regenerating a lot, but a little bit. Let me get a nose on it again. I've decided now the principal
I love that
spice,
beer.
the principal spice is cinnamon, and you can smell the cinnamon. There's other spices there, but they're kind of all clumped together. So I'm assuming it's cloves and some of the other spices you'd have in a pumpkin beer. I can't get those, though, specifically. The cinnamon is the strongest smell you're getting, and you're also in the background getting some dark roasted malts as well. But you can't smell the alcohol, and it's 7.5%, which means it's still strong enough that in some beers you can smell the alcohol. This one you cannot. That smells good. Let's get a sip and see what it tastes like.
All right. Cheers, Michael.
Cheers.
Okay, so your principal taste on the first sip is the cinnamon, but you get that overall kind of like pumpkin pie kind of thing that you get in some beers where it's all the spices coming together with the cinnamon, and you're getting the dark roasted malt as well in it. The alcohol is like almost not, in other words, this is drinking like a session beer.
Yeah, I remember.
They've done a really good job of balancing this with the spices. So this would be one that you would not want to be chugging. You want to be drinking this,
right,
with respect.
If you drink it like a session beer, it wouldn't feel like a session beer, would it?
No, and as a matter of fact, after you drank one of them quickly, I think you'd feel like if you got up, it might be rough, kind of thing. And it's only 7.5%. It's not like these barrel-aged things at 12 and 15%, but still, you have to respect 7.5%. You can't just say, well, just scarf this down. But right. It's medium mouthfeel, and with every sip, it's almost like you want to go back and have more because it's that good. This is an excellent stout.
Yeah, I love that Elysian. Anybody out there that's watching, if you guys haven't had the Elysian pumpkin pack, variety pack, you need to go out and buy it if you're into these kind of beers, because it's some of the best pumpkin beers I've ever had in that variety pack right there.
Yeah, in the same one, there's a coffee stout called Punkachino that was also
one of my
very
favorite
good
ones, and I'm not even a big coffee person, but that was probably that and the Great Pumpkin, I think, was the other one that I really, really liked out of that variety pack. But they were all good. Their standard, is it the Night Owl?
Which is that's the one. That's the one that I think,
pumpkin, and that one is really good too. One of the better pumpkin ales I've had. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying that, Michael.
So this one's very good. I'll come around and give a number when we get back around for our final.
Good deal. Okay, let's. That leaves me. Okay, so Stoneface. Uh-oh, what's popping up here? I don't want. No, got ads popping up. Okay. Let's pull up. There we go. So the Stoneface Double Barrel Imperial Stout. I have not had a sip yet. I've been holding out. The aromas are really nice with this. I'm getting that apple brandy note. There's a definite sweetness and an apple aroma. Not so much the rye barrel coming through on the nose. I feel like that might play more into the palate. Some dark roasted malt, a little bit of chocolate. Your dark toasted bread notes that you get with the roasted malt with these types of beers. It doesn't smell boozy, but having had so many of these beers, I can kind of tell that it's more than a session, but it doesn't smell like it's got a ton of alcohol in it, or even that it's necessarily barrel aged. The apple notes are coming through, but like there's no like woody notes necessarily on the aroma. So we'll see how that works into the palate. Let's get into it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
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 Okay. So not apple forward like I thought it was going to be based off of the aroma. The apple is there, but it's kind of in the background. The first thing that you get is really dark roasted malt character. So dark, I did say woody. Kate's out there listening in. So yeah, nice woody. Sorry. Nice. There's a nice woody barrel presence on the palate. A little bit of the apple notes are coming through, but that's more in the background. But dark roasted malt character, a little bit of dark chocolate. That's really the first thing that I'm picking up on. And then as I swallow it down, a little warming. So you know that it's at least an 8%er just based off of the warming effect going down, but it's not really a boozy beer at all. This is really nice. I'm not getting, the rye barrel notes. Sometimes when you have like these rye barrel aged stouts, you get that little bit of a spice kick. And I'm not really getting that. Maybe as it starts to warm a little bit more, I'll pick up on that. But first impressions, a really wonderful stout. Nice barrel notes, nice little bit of that apple brandy note coming through on the back end, and very smooth overall. The body is high medium. It's not super thick. It doesn't have that motor oil type thing going on with it. So it's pretty smooth. Doesn't linger. So you can go back in for another sip pretty quickly. Sometimes you get these really heavy barrel aged stouts that just cling to the insides of your cheeks, and they're just so heavy, and it's like it takes you so long to get through them, and they're not as enjoyable as stouts like this, where the mouthfeel is a little bit lighter, I guess, than some of the super thick motor oily stuff. So anyway, I'll keep sipping on it and come back around with my rating here in a little bit. Let's play the little musical panel slots and get everybody back in order here. Thanks everybody in the chat. We got Jeremy, we got Jason, we got Friar Tuck. Thanks for tuning in on this fine Stout Sunday Super Bowl edition. We got to go back around now. We'll start back with Mr. Terrio and his Yingling Hershey's Porter and see what he thinks as far as a rating.
Well, it's just like I thought when I did the shaking and the stirring at the bottom. It tastes like chocolate, so it separated. They improved it over the previous year. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's not meant to be. It's just a novelty beer that they sell at the end of every year, like not the end, but late summer, early fall. The price isn't too bad. Well, what this JB inflation, prices are bad everywhere, I guess. But I guess I'll go with 88, a B plus. It's good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Okay.
It's a very good product for a mass-produced so-called craft beer. It's not really a craft beer, but whatever. I mean, those terms don't mean anything anyway, so.
Right.
They really don't mean anything.
Okay, so we got an 88 out of 100. Do you remember? You said they improved it. Do you remember what you gave it the very first time you had it before they changed the recipe?
Yeah, it was like I don't think they really changed the recipe per se. They just probably added more chocolate, which I guess is changing the recipe, more like tweaking the recipe.
Right.
It was like an 82.
Okay, so that's a pretty significant improvement from a B
Yeah.
minus to a B plus. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I did that Kentucky Coffee Barrel Stout in 2019, and I gave it an 85.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, 85.
Yeah.
That's what I gave it.
Yeah, my score is going to be a little bit lower, but
Oh, really? Okay, so you're not as into it as all
yeah,
right.
I'm going to go 83. I think it's kind of bland. So 83 out of 100. It's bland. I don't feel the barrel flavor. I don't feel the. I feel definitely getting the chocolate flavors in this. I mean, coffee flavor. Less chocolate. Yeah, I just thought this kind of very mellow, which is kind of good. Maybe in a way, maybe this should be, a bit mellow, not overly heavy. Bad things happen when you have the ABV a little bit higher. So,
Right.
Yeah. So 83 out of 100 for me.
83. Okay. Not a bad score. All right, Michael. I think we're gonna raise the average a little bit. We got a lower B and then a B plus. What are you thinking about the Dark of the Moon?
I'm going to give it a 96. I think
All
it's
right.
really top level stuff, and it's definitely better than your just average A. So it's A bordering on exceptional, and like you said earlier, getting the pack of them with 12 different beer, 4 different beers, 12 altogether. This you get 3 of these and 3 of the other, and it's really a good deal. I think it's about $20 for the 12 pack, so it's a good deal also.
Okay.
And this one is real. This one, I think, again, if you don't like pumpkin, you might not like this. In other words, if you don't like that style of beer, and there are some people who don't like pumpkin anything, and if you don't like pumpkin, don't buy the 12 pack either, because the other beers all have some pumpkin influence in them. So if you like pumpkin, it's definitely worth trying. It's done every year, and I highly recommend all 4 of the beers there. This one was probably my favorite of the 4.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I like the others too. I thought the coffee one was really good as well. I thought the regular Imperial Stout was good, and the other pumpkin, their original pumpkin, I've had for years, even before they were doing the packs of them. I bought that, just a 6-pack of it at a time. But I don't notice any difference in the Elysian products since InBev took them over. I think the quality is still very high, and it's not automatic that InBev says put in cheaper ingredients and anything like that. They want the beer to continue to sell, so they probably, for the most part, leave the company alone, and they get better distribution, and it works out okay. So
Right. Well, I mean, and I can't even say I don't even know what the Elysian products tasted like before the InBev buyout, because there was no distribution to my area.
Same story here.
So, but I have been pleased with the Elysian beers that I've had since the buyout, because I can get them now, and I think they're pretty dynamite, especially the pumpkin beers from them. That Space Dust, I think, was the first beer. The Elysian Space Dust was the first beer that I had from them, and I thought that was really good. But yeah, the pumpkin beers are where it's at, man, for the Elysian stuff.
It's interesting, John, now that you have such a greater selection where you are now, how you're going to choose some of these off area beers that are further away, because you get, with your Massachusetts and New Hampshire connections, you got enough of those beers that you could probably go on forever.
Right. Yeah. And the fact that I'm not too far from New York, which has a lot of really great breweries that distribute up here. And of course, Virginia is a huge craft beer state that, Josh Abrams gets a lot of their stuff. And I've been kind of following him around and he's on Instagram, and he'll post like what he's drinking. And I've noticed I can get a lot of those beers now as well. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about the beer scene up here, and looking forward to trying some more of the 6-point stuff too, because we can get some of the barrel, the heavier, darker beers from 6-point, whereas down in Georgia, I can pretty much only get like the standard stuff. So like the Master Blend and some of the higher end stuff from them is available here.
John, what's the highest ABV in Massachusetts for beer?
No limit up here.
Unlimited.
That's what's and same with you, Jay, right? No limit as well, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
And no limit here either. John.
That man,
Right.
we're here. I'm here in Georgia. It's what 14%, John. I think it is.
14%. There's some incredible beers available. There's some great craft breweries. Georgia's one of the best states in the country as far as I'm concerned for craft breweries.
Yes.
But they are limited, unfortunately, when they're making these nice barrel-aged beers. They have to really be careful not to get them over 14%. Otherwise, they can't sell them in the state of Georgia. So it's really unfortunate. But that's a whole nother, that's an hour-long live panel discussion that we need to have. We don't want to get
go to Mississippi. Go to Mississippi. The limit is 10%.
Yeah. And that's no fun. That's no
so
fun.
Sad. If you like craft beer, don't live in Mississippi.
Remember, it took them after Prohibition ended in 1933. It still took them 30 years later for them to lift that in Mississippi.
Yeah,
1963. So, hey, they do things different in Mississippi. So, I just drive by heading towards Louisiana.
Right. There you go. You're not too far from Louisiana, so yeah, you got a few hours and you can get some unlimited access to great craft beer at any ABV range, close to a major. And if you're down near New Orleans, you can major port cities, so they get all kinds of stuff from all over the world. So anyway, okay, so that leaves me with my Stoneface double barrel, and maybe I'm being a little harsh or whatever because I've had some really great beers in the last couple of weeks, but the apple note, it's there. I think they did exactly what they tried to do with this beer, aging it in the apple brandy barrels, but I find it a little strange, the apple flavor in a stout. Like typically I prefer like the dark fruits, those type of notes in a stout. I think the apple is kind of a little strange. The rye barrel's not really coming through either. The dark roasted malt character, the dark chocolate notes, the woody notes from the barrel are coming through. That's nice. And the 10% alcohol is masked pretty well. The only thing is that slight warming going down to indicate that it's a higher alcohol beer. But it's still in the A range for me, but I'm going to go 94 out of 100. I was thinking that when I went into this, I was going to, be in the 97, 98 range, but just, I've had a lot better. So 94 out of 100, but still an excellent beer, pretty solid A beer, and I would definitely recommend it. This one does have 5 or 6 months age to it, which is really nothing in the world of barrel-aged stouts. Anything less than like 2 years, you're not really doing much. But it's a solid A beer, and I definitely would recommend it. And I will say for a 10%er, it's got a nice little head retention for it, so which is unusual for a 10% beer. So I will go ahead, and anybody that may have tuned in late, there's our beers. That's the ratings that we gave them. Go back to the chat really quick. We got Josh in the chat as well now. Last Beer, cheers all. Go check out Last Beer. He actually did, I think it was his first just beer review on his channel, just him by himself. He did a beer review on his channel last night. It's a beer from New Anthem, one of their double IPAs. So go check out Last Beer. Kind of new to the YouTube thing as far as like his channel. So go show him some love. We got Miscellaneous in the chat. Cheers. And we've already mentioned everybody else. So it's that time of the show, folks, where we go back around. If anybody has any shout outs, show and tell, etc., now would be the time to do that. Ron, I can pull you up first. I know you've probably got a few things. So go for it. Show us what you got.
Okay. Well, with today on this game day Sunday, well, most Sundays are game day, depending on what game you're talking about. But I have a wine to drink, a New York wine. And I'll have a little bit of that with my lunch. And it's
yes, sir. Hey, you don't have Parmesan?
No. No, I have this one open. I have two unopened products from Spring Creek. But anyway, it's a grape wine with citrus spirits, artificial flavor, and certified color. So the bouquet is like
What if someone said,
grape skin and Weiler's grape drink packet.
what if Jay? What if someone at an Italian restaurant? Oh yeah, we got the house wine tonight, and they pour it, and nobody doesn't know what it is. It's in one of them wine sifters, whatever the thing is, and then they pour it. The reaction, we're like, what is this?
They're gonna think this is Flavor Aid grape drink mix. But it comes in at a low 17%. It's only 17% alcohol. So now coming up later today, because Monday is not gonna usually doesn't work out too well for me. I got an afternoon taste challenge. 2 Canadian whiskeys. Robert, the Whiskey Scout, is a big Canadian whiskey guy in the sense that he loves to hate them. But this is the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights, formerly known as the Northern Light, but when you turn the label, it makes the Northern Lights. Ooh, oh, it's so fancy.
Not quite the same effect as the real deal, but whatever.
And it was introduced in the late 1960s by Hiram Walker, established in 1879. But Hiram Walker got bought out, and now it's owned by, you guessed it, Barton Imports, who's owned by, you guessed it, Sazerac. And I got a good deal on this bottle. I got this bottle at a local store, 750 milliliters for $4.
Is that a glass? That's a glass bottle, right? All right, good. Yeah, sometimes you get those plastic bottles that look like glass.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, with Canadian Lake.
Right. The Canadian Leaf was one that had the interesting like embossing on it too, so it really looked like the real deal. And then you give it a good squeeze, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, the little diamonds, but this one's glass, and I got it for $4.75, $4.75. Now the competitor is 40 Creek Premium Barrel Select. This has been on the market 22 years, and I'm not going to get it confused because this product smells and even more so tastes like, I say creme brulee, but somebody described it as having a marshmallow roast, and you left the marshmallow over the fire and it caught on fire, and then you blew it out and you taste it. You know that burnt marshmallow flavor? Yeah. So that's what it's like. So this one is distinctive, and it's a $20 bottle, but no, I didn't pay $20. I got it on clearance at Walmart for $9. I bought it for $9. Does that sound like a good deal?
I think all of the deals. I think if it wasn't a good deal, you wouldn't be purchasing it. You seem to have a knack for finding deals.
Yeah.
No, I would have bought it. I would have bought it eventually. It's just that when I see it for that price, I can't pass it up. Now, last week at Mathern's, I was over there and I saw they had some new products in. I already did 2 reviews for the Johnny Walkers, the Johnny Walker Double Black and the Johnny Walker Gold Label Reserve. But I found this one for $2.49. It's a small bottle, $2.49, but it's Dewar's.
Oh, yeah.
15-year aged. And I got a feeling that's going to be dynamite. And for
I've had that, and it is pretty dang good.
And for $2.99, I got Dewar's.
Oh, I haven't had the 18.
Now look up the price for the full size bottle. It's like $65.
Yeah, that's just not cheap for Dewar's.
Now, and one more thing. Wednesday we have drinks for Carnival, and I have the Mardi Gras, the King Cake vodka from Taka, King Cake vodka, which tastes like king cake. And then it's Wild Card Wednesday if you can't. Joker's Wild Wednesday if you can't find anything.
It'll be Joker for me.
Joker's Wild, but I got the Taka King Cake, and then I was at a place called Ricky's, and I got these 3 flavored vodkas: blueberry, peach, and these are 100 milliliters. These are not the minis. And lime flavored, natural flavors only. These were 3 bottles for 99 cents, not 99 cents each. three bottles for 99 cents.
Wow. All right.
Good deal.
Good deal. Okay.
You forgot one more bottle, Jay. Like what the?
Now, is the Western Sun owned by a bigger company?
No, it's an independent vodka company in Pilot Point, Texas. They make all their own vodka out of Texas wheat and Iowa red wheat, I think, Northern Iowa red wheat, and they put natural flavors. And they're an up and coming company. But of course, you know what's going to happen if they get popular. Then you know what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. You bought out.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. That's it.
All right. Cool. Thank you, Ron. Let's go to Jean and see if he has anything to tell us. Any exciting news, beer reviews, show and tell?
Yeah. I just uploaded a video yesterday. Did the Victory, excuse me. The Victory Brotherly Love Hazy IPA. I'll upload that. Also, I'm going to review this sometime. And I got two other beers. Well, one more other beer. And that is the, hold on. I think Jay has already seen it. And I think I showed it last week. This right here. This is right here. The West Mall.
Oh, that's an awesome product.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be reviewing. So I got two. So this and this are going to be reviewed coming up, and I'll join you Wednesday on Wildcard Wednesday, Jay. Excuse me, Joker's Wild.
Joker's Wild Wednesday. Yeah, that's our Wildcard is on Eric's channel.
Whatever beer I'll bring something. So it won't be now. I don't know if I'm going to make a trip down to Mobile for Mardi Gras. I'm kind of saving my time for other trips. But it's just a weekend, so just to drive to Mobile and take part in the parade and drive back. So
All right.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah. So I'll be coming up soon.
Okay. Good deal. Michael, what do you got for us?
Can you open me to full screen?
Yes. Oh, I should have done that for John too. Well, yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm slipping.
Okay, no problem. No
Call
problem.
me out on my yeah.
Okay, so anyway, you've heard that Doug, the Space Monkey, and I split this extreme beer box from Beer Advocate. Yeah. So here's the paper that came with this product. Doug gave it to me. And on Tuesday, because we normally would have done it tomorrow, but tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So Doug will be with his wife and I'll be with Audrey. So we moved it to Tuesday. And just to give you an idea, we still have the other 6 to do, including a Bananas Foster from Ardwolf. Let's see, a stout aged in bourbon barrels, vanilla beans and coffee from Beer Tape. From Great Notion, a barrel aged with blueberry and coconut. And from Japasarejaria, a sour with yuzu, Sudaki, and Buddha's Hand, which is 8%.
So wait, when are you doing this, Michael?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
Monday's Valentine's Day. Tuesday. And Modus Brewing, Turtle Cheesecake Coffee Lager. And the last one is from Mortalis, and it is a fruited sour. So half of those are very high alcohol, half are not. And you saw the first one that we did last week, and it included the combo with Sam Adams and Dogfish Head, which I found to be really good. And it was definitely at the very top. I don't know. I still think that the Bourbon County has it by a little bit, but again, it's a little lower alcohol. This was 17.2. So when you start getting up to 17.2, it's kind of hard to cover the alcohol. It's definitely boozy, and I don't think there's any way around it being boozy. But I think the Bourbon County does a better job of moderating the taste of the alcohol with their different combinations. But this was really good. I enjoyed it. I got one more thing to show. This was purchased for me last year, and I've been cellaring it. And I guess it has to get to the point where I decide to drink it. But this was from Sierra Nevada, and it was purchased at their North Carolina brewery, which is outside Asheville. And Gail brought this back for me. And this is their Torpedo, which is their extra IPA, which is 7.2%. But this one, because it's barrel aged, is 8.6%.
Man.
And when you think about it, when you have, a heavy IPA like that, barrel aged, I wonder what the effect is going to be. I think it's going to be really interesting. But I'll have to decide when I want to do it. I guess if I have a larger showing at one of my Thursday night get-togethers, I can take it out then and see what the group says. It's not something you'd want to split with just two people, though. You'd want to have more people to get a chance to try it. And Gail gave it to me as a gift. It would be good if she was there too when I did do it, so she could taste it also. But I've had a lot of other, expressions with bourbon barrels, and I don't think I've ever had one in a, like a charged IPA. And if you remember the Torpedo, it's really, like hop cone, resiny, like a West Coast IPA. So the effect of that in bourbon barrels might be something that is amazing, and yet it may, who knows? Yeah, I guess you have to taste it and make your own decision. But it will not be obviously as bitter as the regular one, because the bourbon barrels will certainly moderate the taste, I would think, and make it more balanced, I would guess. But again, until I try it, I'm not sure. But I'm looking forward to having that as well. But I'll do a write-up on after Tuesday and let everybody see what we thought of those 6 beers. Audrey did the last one last Monday as well. And I'm looking forward to Stout Sunday, John, again next week, which will probably be held at your apartment, but I guess you never know.
Yeah, as long as I don't get snowed in over at Kate's, yeah.
It's funny. It's funny, John. You're getting to see snow in large quantities, probably for the first time in your life.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm like, wow, this is the most snow I've ever seen, and Kate's like, this is nothing. So, it's not even that much apparently, but it's definitely the most I've ever seen in my lifetime. So one more thing, Michael, I know you didn't mention it. I wanted you to talk just a little bit about the Tavour thing. That you go to this website, right, and you get.
Yes. I sent the email to everybody. I don't know, Jay, if he looked at it or not. I think I sent it to you too. Anyway, Tavour, Tavour, has a website where you can get these special deals on these like multi-packs, where if you buy, I ended up buying the stout one, which if as advertised, if they give you what they give you, we will see when I get it. But 14 to 16 bottles, some of it barrel aged, according to the way they were describing it, and it's $99, including tax and shipping. So we'll see what the size of the bottles are too. I guess if they're all 12 ounce, that lessens it a little bit. But I would think some would have to be 16 ounce or
on the website. It
looked like there were some bombers there too. So we'll have to see what I end up getting. It's supposed to ship in 7 business days from the day I ordered it. So I guess I could expect it in the latter part of the month. But it's exciting when you do these mystery things, because obviously Tavour wants your business, so they're not going to stick it to you. But we'll see what I actually get.
Well, and I don't know exactly. I'm sure some states probably restrict the shipping of especially some of the higher ABV stuff. But it's interesting because you're getting beers, a lot of beers that you would normally not otherwise be able to get from all over the country, maybe all over the world. Super local stuff from craft breweries in different states that would otherwise never be available to you. So I think it's going to be one heck of a little variety pack you're getting there.
Now, like you're saying, in a state like Mississippi, if somebody ordered it, they would have to tailor it less than 10%.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that.
Which might make it impossible.
It may not even be available. Like if you click on, when you go to shipping, it may just say that we
how many bottles do you get? How many bottles you get in the pack?
They said 14 to 16, which I guess means that they look at the exact ones they have and they kind of like tailor it in a way where they would give you 16, lesser ones maybe, or ones that aren't as good. And if you got 14, they'd be better. I don't know.
It probably just depends on what they have available ABV wise, and then like the individual like prices of some of these high ABV barrel aged stouts are going to be higher. So if you're getting one of the really high barrel aged stouts that cost more, then they probably only give you 14 or 15 versus 16.
Right. But we'll see what I end up getting, and I'll look. Obviously, when I do buy the mystery packs at the co-op, it's a little bit different because it's only costing you 89 cents a bottle. But those are not guaranteed to be stouts. And for the most part, you never get stouts there. It's almost always IPAs, fruit stuff, sour stuff. It's varied. And I've been disappointed in them a little bit because some of the stuff turned out to be dated. In other words, they didn't check carefully to see the dating. And I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying that if you're drinking an IPA, you don't want it to be 6 months old when you buy it because you're getting hop fade. I guess you're spending 89 cents, so it's not awful, but still, I'd rather have it fresher and whatever.
And that's one thing too, ordering, because you could go to Tavor and order an IPA pack, and they had the stout, different styles. You're probably definitely more on the safe side with the stouts, because even if they send you something, barrel aged that's like a year old, it's not really doing any damage.
And it can work in your favor even if they've held it longer, because maybe by they're cellaring it for you by holding it longer, kind of thing. But hopefully some of the things will have dates on them, so I'll be able to tell. But I am looking forward to getting that as well. And I think I pretty much sent it out in an email to everybody, but I could have missed somebody. It's possible.
Right.
But,
okay.
We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to Doug's thing on Tuesday as of right now.
Absolutely. Okay. So I don't really have anything. There's a beer that I've been sitting on for a while. That it's another beer that Bumpy gave me 5 or 6 months ago, but it's actually a couple years old. They don't even make it anymore. Trillium. I can't even think of the name of it. It's a coconut chocolate cake imperial stout, barrel aged. It's 15.9%. And it's obviously 15.9%. I never could have gotten anything like that in Georgia. Trillium doesn't even make it anymore. And it's got a couple years age on it. So I'm going to do some kind of special review for that. So be looking out for that. It's going to, I have no doubt it's going to be amazing. And then Beer Buddies, it's a show that I started back in Georgia, and things have been crazy with me moving, and I've been kind of behind on my channel. I've had, like Ron's been hosting Stout Sunday a lot, and there's just been a lot going on. So look forward to some more Beer Buddies coming up soon. I need to interview Jean-Pierre. I need to interview a lot of people and get that show going a little bit more. So I promise more to come with the Beer Buddies. Michael and I are doing a couple examinations near the end of the month. We're doing a Jack's Abbey House Lager examination, I believe the 23rd. So if anybody can get the Jack's Abbey House Lager, of course you're welcome to join, but I know it's kind of a local thing. They don't distribute to too many states. And then we're doing another Jack's Abbey examination from the Framing Hammer series, which is their barrel-aged porter stouts. So any of them will do. If you can get any of the Framing Hammer series, we're going to do another thing on that. Not trying to be exclusive or anything. Like, I want everybody to join, but, these beers are, if you can get them, great, but it is what it is. If you can join us, great. If not, watch along and drink an Imperial Stout or Porter and just have a good time with us in the chat. That's all I've got. We've been going on an hour here, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
John, I got one more thing to say.
Yes.
Last night, I watched your review with Bumpy on the Smutty Nose barley wine, and it sounded like it was ecstasy plus. It really sounded like you were upset with yourself that you didn't buy the rest of it.
Yes, I was. So they were $20 a bottle, but here's the thing. It was 2013. Their barley wine ale, which they don't even make anymore, aged in red wine barrels. Bumpy and I both got a bottle when we went to the brewery. and it was world class. It was the best barley wine I've ever had. I probably by giving it a 99, I probably it probably deserved 100. But I've only had 3 or 4 really, really good barley wines. There's just not a lot of them out there, and I wanted to save that extra point for maybe a rainy day when I try something even better. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, it is a world class beer, and it was the oldest beer too that I've ever had. I've never had a beer that had been aged for 9 years. The closest I had was the 2015 KBS that Shane Fudge gave me, which I reviewed on my channel a while back. But yeah, awesome stuff. And I may be making a trip to the brewery next week to buy the rest of the bottles if they're still around, but don't tell anybody.
We won't.
It's secret.
Yeah. Anyway, really quick, Jeremy, to answer your question, 0. But I will get on that soon, and I'll take a picture and post it in the Hangouts or something for you guys to enjoy, because there's plenty of snow to make snowmen with up here. Anyway, thanks to my panel, Ron Terrio, Jean-Pierre, Michael Kormaroff. Thanks for joining. We had a great time today. Some good porters and stouts. Hope everybody has a great day. Enjoy the Super Bowl if you're going to watch that. I know I am. Enjoy your
Bengals. I'm rooting for the Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
I'm kind of rooting for the Bengals, but I think the Rams are going to win. I don't know. I'm on the fence. If I was betting, I would probably bet in favor of the Rams, because I think Matthew Stafford is due, and he's been a really good quarterback for a really long time. He's just been on a crappy team. So he's actually on a good team now.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, thanks to the chat. We appreciate it. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Had some great comments in the chat today. So really appreciate that. And we'll see you all here again next Sunday, same time, 10:30 Eastern. Bring your porters, your stouts, and join us. Until then, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers,
everybody.